Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Art 195, 3D modeling for animation for the fall semester 2021. Today, I want to show you how to create kind of a corkscrew or a screw-like effect. There's two different approaches. I'll start with the easy way, and I'll show you a second one, which is a little bit harder to do. But depending on what you want to achieve, they're very similar in their approach. So let's start with the easy one first. So here's the finished result. And if you wanted sort of a spiral handle look, in this case, this would be for a tennis racket, something like that. So I'm going to start over here. And unfortunately, I didn't save the initial step. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to put this one in the background just so I can get an approximately the same size. I'm going to start with a simple cylinder. So I'm going to go back to the disk tool. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click and drag like so. Okay, I'll make sure it's nice and round. I don't need 24 sides. Probably 8 would be sufficient. And then the next thing that I want to do is determine the number of segments. So let me go ahead and from the front view, let's go ahead and pull this up like so. Pull this down like so. That looks pretty good. And I'm going to make the number of segments, and this is kind of guesswork on your part, maybe 9 segments. It depends on how many spirals you want. Maybe even 9 is too many. We'll see. I'm going to go ahead and maybe put that back to 8. Yeah, we'll go ahead and just use 8 and 8. Okie doke. So there's our disk. And I want to make sure that it is in the foreground and nothing is in the background. Okay, so this gets us started, but you'll know that the loops go at an angle and that they are raised. So first thing that we need to do is, how do we get an angle spiral? So before I use that tool, though, I think I'm going to make sure that I select polygons. And I'm going to select the top polygon, and I'm going to hit K for kill. And then I'm going to select the bottom polygon and select K for kill. Okay. Now what I want to do is I do want to skew the thing. So that's found under the modification tool. And it's down here. It's not skew, they call it shear. And now what I can do from the side view, it could be the back view, the side view, whichever. I can click and drag and move this up. Okay. Now you'll notice that it's moving there. I want it to move over here. So let's decide which one that I want here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reset this. Let's do it from the side view here. Let's see if I see if I'm moving it one way or another. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to go ahead and move it from the side view and move it up a couple of notches. Okay. So that gives us the angle that we need. And that looks pretty good. And I'm going to go ahead and hit size for a minute. So that would be Shift H. And I'm going to increase the size of this just a little bit. I like working with a grid. So I probably should have done that from the outset. And there we have it. Okay. Now in the, let's go ahead here. And that does, yeah, it's still good. Okay. So now what I want to do is I need to take every other ring and I need to select it. So in order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the edge tool, and using the textured wireframe view and layout. Now what I can do is I can go ahead and click, and I can drag a couple of the edges, and then I can go ahead and I can come over here and I can say select loop. There you go. So I'm going to skip again and hold down the shift key this time, select again a couple of edges, and I'm going to say select loop. Okay. Hold down the shift key, select a couple of edges, and then go ahead and say select loop. I'm going to do this one more time. And select loop. Okie doke. Now, in order to be able to push these in and to get our bumpy quality here, we need to add geometry. So the best way to do that is to use under multiply something called edge bevel. So I'm going to go ahead from here and let's look under more. Okay. And it's not magic bevel, it's under more down here, and it's called edge bevel. There we go. And now what I can do is I can adjust. So let's go back over to the side view here. And I don't need a whole lot. I need just a little bit of adjustment here so that it adds to this. So let's go ahead, adds the geometry that we need to be able to inset that. So I'm going to go ahead and go to here so that I have full screen so I can see a little bit better, and zoom in. Okay. Now what I can do is I can, if I click and I drag, you can see how you can adjust the amount of space in between that you want. Now this is guesswork, sheer guesswork. So I'm adding geometry here, I'm adding geometry here, here, and here. That's what I need. Okay. So with that geometry added, I can go ahead and turn off the edge bevel. Let's go ahead and turn off edge bevel. So again, under multiply, more, turn off edge bevel. So I've got that added geometry now. Now what I can do is I can, let's go ahead and go back out of here. And what I want to do now is to take each of those rings that I've created. Okay. And I don't need the edges anymore. I need to select the loops of the polygons. So what I'll do here is I'll say select. Let's go ahead and switch from edge mode to polygon mode. And I'm going to do something very similar. I'm going to go ahead and select a couple of them, a couple of polygons, and then go ahead and say select loop. And I'm going to come down here and I'm going to hold down the shift key, select a couple of polygons and say select loop. And just keep repeating, going all the way down. And I want the wider part here. The part that I'm selecting here is going to be the part that will be indented. So that was the edge bevel, was a way for me to add geometry between, just using the edges to add some geometry. And got some extra polygons that I have here. So I'm going to go ahead and say select loop. And I'll come down here and do the same thing. hold down the shift key, select a couple of polygons, and then say select loop. Now I need to add geometry once again, because what I would like to be able to do is to be able to pull these guys in, okay? And then to be able to hit tab. And partly why I'm doing it this way too is to make sure that I'm working entirely with quads. I don't want any three-pointed polygons. You can, but it's really not that effective. So the tool that we need to add geometry to all of these and to behave as one is not the bevel tool, but the smooth shift. So again, under multiply, I want smooth shift. I'm just going to click, and I'm just going to click like so. And it looks like it may have added geometry, maybe not. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click the offset, and I'm going to drag it in. Okay, see if that pulls it in. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset this. I'm going to go ahead and select reset. And instead of using the offset, it might be easier for me if I just go ahead and let's turn off smooth shift. And now I should be able to go ahead and hit stretch. And from the top view, click and pull in like so. Okay. And you really want to exaggerate this quite a bit. That looks pretty good. And if it's too much, then just undo it and redo it. If it's not enough, undo it and redo it. So that will take a little bit of experimenting on your part. So now I can go ahead, and now that I've stretched it in, turn off stretch, and go ahead and turn that off by deselecting it. Now let's zoom out. Now I'm ready to go. I just have to do here now is I just have to hit the tab key. And now I see I've overdone it a bit too much. Now, if we look at my other examples, notice that I didn't have quite as much space. And when I hit the tab key, it's a little bit more subtle. The next thing that we need to do, those you'll notice that I have the top and the bottom open, and the top and the bottom also are at angles. So what I need to do after that is I need to take and stretch. So what I'll do over here, let's go to this one again. And what I need to do is I need to zoom in maybe from the right view or the back view. Back view would be a good one. So let's just zoom in a little bit. Switch to point mode, and then either right click or command click. And I want to select the bottom row of polygons here. Oh, come on. I got point mode, command click, control click. Let me use my mouse. Yeah, see, it's not working here. So let's go ahead here. I need to control, command. I'm trying to use my touchpad here, not having any success here. So I'm going to use command again. Well, let me do it this way. Just deselect. And I'm just going to select all of these like so. There we go. So all the bottom polygon or points are selected. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate it so that the bottom is flat with the bottom here. So what I need to do now is I need to select, instead of selection point, I'm going to use the mouse point. I'm going to hit Y for rotate. And then from right here, I'll click and rotate down. Whoa, there you go. So it's like that. We're going to do the same for the top. So let me deselect the points. So turn off Y for rotate, deselect, and then come to the top. And do the same thing. I'm just going to go ahead and select all the points. Make sure that they're all selected. And then hit Y for rotate, and I'll pivot it from here so that it goes up like so. Turn off Y. So now we have the top and the bottom of our handle. And now what we need to do is we need to cap them off. So to do that, again, we need to select all the points. And I really should be selected in order. But since I'm doing it this way, it should work. And I'm going to hit P for poly. Let's see what I get in the top here. And it looks good, but I have an N gone. So you'll see that that's not working so hot. So if I hit the tab key, you're going to see I'll get an error message, and the rest goes back, and it doesn't look so good. Okay. So let me hit tab again. I'm going to select this, make sure that this polygon is selected. Hit tab to undo it. And now this is how you can get quads out of the top and the bottom. Okay. So what I need to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to deselect the polygon. And let's look at the top here. Okay. I'm going to go back to selecting points, and I'm going to select this point here. It doesn't matter which ones you want, but you want them across from one another. Okay. And then I hit L, and that connects. Now I want a division again. So if I hit L again, I won't see anything, but in fact, I have added a point in the middle. So now I can deselect, and I can select this point here. And I can select this point in the middle. See that? Come on. How about if I select, let's deselect this one and then select the middle one. Let me switch to point view and see if I can come in here and see. No, I didn't do that. So let's select the points again. And let's hit L. Come on. Or maybe if I just select edge, let's deselect and select edge. Maybe that's what I need to do. Select, whoops, select the edge. There we go, and hit L. And now you can see with edge selected, see there's a point in the middle that I've created. That's what I want. And so now what I can do, I can go ahead and I can connect points again. So I can go back to the point mode, and I can click here and then hold down the shift key and select. That's already selected. Why don't I see that here? Oh, there we go. So they're both selected, and hit L again. And that should connect. So wait a minute, why am I doing that? Let's select here. There we go. Let's hit L, connect. Why aren't you connecting? Well, let me deselect. Let's try again. Whoops, no. I want point mode. And L to connect. And it's not working. Why aren't you working? Let's select again. There. And hold down the shift key, select this point, hit L. There we go. Now it connects. I want to do the same to the other side, but you can see rather than have 3 pointed polygons, I'll have four pointed polygons. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the way around. And that will work better for us when we hit Tab key and use sub patches. So again, let's go ahead and select, and with point selected, I'll select this point and this point, and again, hit L to connect. Now I can deselect, and now what I can do is I can, under poly mode, I can select all 4. Okay, and now I can hit the Tab key, and that looks pretty good. The only thing is it's a little bit more rounded than what we would like. So, oh, okay. Okay, I didn't realize what I had selected. So anyway, it's a little bit too rounded for my taste. So if you want to tighten it up, again, with all of those polys selected again, I'm going to use smooth shift. And just click and see how that tightens it up. And now if you want, I can go ahead and I can hit Shift H to resize. And then pull it in just a little bit, and that will round it off just a tad. Now, if you want to pull and create a convex or, hollow area in here, then what you need to do is you need to hit smooth shift again. So we'll use smooth shift again. Smooth shift, click again. And now I'll hit T for move, and then from here, click and drag, pull it down. And now you can put the rest of the handle in here. But that's it. That's creating the illusion of, well, you're creating the extra geometry that you need, but it's pretty nice. This one, I went a bit overboard with it, but this would be a nice handle for a sword or something like that. Anyway, that's how you do it. And then when you're all done, this is what it should look like. The other one, if you want more of a screw approach to it, or if you actually want to create a screw, there is a video that I have available for all of you. But in addition to that, to show you how you do that, you start with a simple 2-dimensional rectangle plane, and you subdivide it similarly to what I did before with the cylinder. Okay, you need to determine, I just need, how many sections you want across. And I think I only wanted maybe 8. And that would be the same as a cylinder. And then if you want 8 above and below or more, you can do that. And then what you need to do is you need to take the bend tool and bend it around so that when before you bend it, you need to do what I did before. You need to kind of skew it or shear it so that it becomes offset. And then you can use the bend tool like so. Now, if you get the points to match perfectly, when you hit M, it will merge the points. I generally don't have that kind of luck. So what I did is I select each of these points along this seam and I welded them together. Remember, weld is found under detail here, but you select 2 points and you weld them and then you're good. And then what you do is very similar. Is we go ahead and I use the edge bevel, okay, to create, you select from here all the way down, actually. It depends on how, how far you want to go with it. You'll go ahead and if I zoom in here, I can select, make sure that I have edges selected. I might remember what I'm selecting here. Select, and then hold down the shift key and select a couple. And then what I'll do is I'll select loop. And then when I do, okay, and I go ahead and I go to say select loop. Now on this one, you'll notice that it only goes halfway, because what I did by accident is I forgot to weld these 2 points together. Once they are welded together and the loop goes all the way down, then we use edge bevel again. And then once you get that, then we can go back to here and we have our final solution. Then you go ahead and you pull the, now I used, in the video that I'm going to share with you, he said that he used multi-shift, but I found that multi-shift didn't work for me. Working with smooth shift worked better for me. So if you're looking for this sort of handled approach, or if you wanted to, you could do this again. You could use loop, or rather, if you finish this off, if you watch the video, and you'll be able to get a corkscrew or actual screw-like effect when you're done. And you can see how this wraps around. It goes from top to bottom, and then you have to close it off similar to the way we did with the last one over here. Okay. But this one is a little bit more subtle and looks a bit more like what you would get from, if you were creating a tennis racket here. And you can see the bottom one, I have all of these guys selected, but I haven't finished it off yet. So I'll go back and select polygon mode, and I'll select them all. Now, I don't know why I have these selected. Oh, I don't. Let's go back here. There we go. And that creates the rounded top. I'm going to use smooth shift again to inset it. So, Filipos, is that what you were looking for? Okay. Well, that's all I got for you today. Although I do have, and I will not play it because I don't want to infringe on his copyrights. But if you look at the video that I have for you under the LightWave tutorials, this is what it looks like at the very end. So let me go ahead and
hey, it's Ryan here.
Let me go ahead and pause my recording. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for today. Showing you how to create this spiral handle with a bumpy, with the bumps in it. Look like it's been wrapped. And, for a grip that you would have on, it could be tennis racket, or you could have, it could be on a hammer or any number of things. But anyway, that's the approach. And remember, there's the other video that I showed you that by William Bond on how to create a true screw pattern. And that's pretty much it. Okay. So we are done for today, unless you have any more questions. This will be up I will post this video soon. So and that will be it. Okay. Okay. Good post. Okay. You guys, goodbye. And I'll see you Wednesday. Okay.